Alright, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Adventure with Roger. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. New World's closed beta test. And we are going to be jumping in and talking about some of the stuff that I've noticed. Some of the good things, some of the bad kings, pros and cons, stuff like that. And we're going to jump right into it. Right now, we're going to be playing. Alright guys, so from what I can tell so far, when you jump into New World, there's a few different areas of the game where you're going to be started off as a new character. I got started off very close to Monarch's Bluff's Hamlet. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away. After a few quests, I found myself there. This is the main time Hamlet that I've spent almost my entire game time experience here. I'd say about 40 or 50 hours, somewhere in there. I've just been basically doing a bunch of reputation quests. I've been doing a bunch of settlement quests and getting my crafting skills up as high as possible. So one thing that you're going to notice right here, right off the bat, is when you hover over the settlement right here, it's going to tell you how many quests you have available, how many quests you can turn in right now. It's going to let me recall to the inn that I am basically bound to, so to speak. There's also a fast travel method, which costs the little blue essence here. I forget exactly what it's called, but I could travel there for that, whatever amount that is out of how much I currently have. It lets me see my storage, which I have just a ton of stuff in here. I've been basically hoarding a lot of stuff other than the stuff I've just been using to craft. I have a bunch of gear in here that I've bought from my faction merchant, which is pretty good stuff. So I basically have a couple of different sets of gear I use. I have a sword and board gear, which is heavy armor, and I have a really high swords and shield skill, because that was the primary thing that I've been doing the most. But now that I'm crafting a little bit more, I actually crafted myself like a light set of gear, and I've been going around using my fire staff lately, which I've been having a blast with as well. And I'll kind of show that to you here in a little bit. Over here, I'll just go ahead and close that up. I don't want that. I don't want that. There we go. So underneath the map here, there's objectives, things that it'll tell you, places you can go. Like this one right here says explore and find. I need to go over there. I need to search for some chests in this Inkwell cave area. And there's ones that are numbered. These green ones right here are ones that you need to go to turn in either a quest you need to turn in, or the next step in a quest that you need to go talk to someone, is what the green means. And then there's a bunch of different ones all over. And then you have upcoming wars, which is very self-explanatory. Basically, these bastions, these forts all around the map that you need to go to. And there's times when there's sieges on those forts, and you want to go participate in those based on if you're attacking or defending. I'm part of the Marauders, so if the, like right up here, if the Syndicate, which does control this fort, is being attacked, I can go ahead and go join in on that. Or I can come down here and help defend this one. And then there's another faction as well, but we don't talk about them because they are nowhere to be seen. Resource locations. There's a bunch of cool things about in New World that I do like, and one of them is the fact that after you build your harvesting method of, depending on what it is, if it's mining, if it's lumbering wood, if it's collecting or harvesting sort of like flowers and motes and stuff like that. After you get it up high enough, it starts to give you tracking on a mini-map of those particular nodes, which makes them much easier to find. And that's something that I really appreciate that they did in New World. And then they have the territories. Now this is pretty cool. As you can see right here at the very top, there's Monarch's Bluffs. Like I said, I've spent almost my entire time in Monarch's Bluff, and I am up to a respected status. at level 15 right here. And if I click on it, it lets me choose basically a perk when I level up my status with Monarch's Bluff. So in this particular case, I can click on this and earn 19.1 more percent territory standing in Monarch's Bluffs. I can decrease the crafting fee by 13.1%, or I can increase my gathering speed by 13.1%. I'm going to go ahead and decrease the crafting fee. So I went ahead, chose that particular perk, and now that particular perk will always be a part of my status as long as I'm in Monarch's Bluff. And then you can see right here, it gives me some information on Monarch's Bluff right here. It tells me it's governed by the Batman, controlled by the Marauders, because we're the best. The maximum amount of corruption breaches present. So all these corruption breaches around the map right here are marked in red. Now, one thing I haven't figured out is this whole Azoth staff thing. I need to figure out how to get myself one of these Azoth staffs now that I'm high enough level to actually take these things on. I did one for the first time today. I don't know if you guys remember the game Rift, but in Rift there was actual rifts that would open, and they also have something like this in Elder Scrolls Online, where a bunch of bad guys will be around a certain type of breach, and you need to go in there, wipe out the bad guys, and close the rift, so to speak. And that's exactly what this is like in New World. You basically just go there. There's this really awesome like red glow that surrounds you. You can tell you're going into a bad guy's area, and you have to fight the monsters that are there and close the breach, so to speak. There's also benefits for owning the territory. It shows you my standing, which is level 15. I finally got respected. It shows me the perks that I currently have with the territory standing bonuses here. So I have decreased trade tax station fees. I have gathering speed, experience gain while I'm in this territory. I have faction tokens. I earn 5% more when I do stuff. I have a standing gain, 16.3% more territory standing when I'm in this territory. And I have the option to own a house in Monarch's Bluff as well. But the housing is rather expensive, and I'm not sure that I have quite enough gold yet to go ahead and buy a house here. I might now, but a few levels ago I didn't have quite enough. So there's also a filters thing on the map down here where you can kind of hide stuff. And I really appreciate the interface of the game so far. It's still in development, keep that in mind, but so far I really like all these tabs and all this information that they give me. Next up is the journal. It's a really cool basically your quest log, and the first thing that I really appreciate about it is how easy it is to differentiate the difference between my main storyline, my side stories, my faction missions, and my town project quests. And it makes it very self-explanatory on how to pin it to the right of my screen or go ahead and abandon the quests at any time. Next up we have my character. Now this is really cool because it shows the bio of my character here. It shows my influence, my experience as far as what territory I'm in, lower fast travel distance costs, for factions, my luck bonus, my gathering bonus, and my fast travel discount. It shows me that I'm in the World's Treat Company, which is basically I just got invited to a random company. I went ahead and accepted it just to be nice. Because it's beta and all this information is going to get deleted anyways, it doesn't hurt anything just to check out what being in the company is actually going to be like. And on the left side here, you can tell that I'm part of the Marauders. It shows you that I'm a gladiator, how much Marauders reputation I actually have, and how many faction tokens I currently have. Now I'm going to explain faction tokens to you here in just a little bit. Next up we have my attributes. Now earlier today, before I respect, I had about 55 points in strength, some points in dexterity, and all the rest of it was in constitution because I was using sword and board. I was kind of the tank doing a lot of taunting, a lot of mitigation of damage, blocking a lot with my shield, while other people were able to go ahead and damage creatures from behind. But I decided I wanted to check out the fire staff because I wanted to do some big time damage, or try to do some big time damage. So I went ahead and respec to the intelligence. I got a little bit of focus points in there and a few points in constitution, and I'm currently raising my fire staff abilities, which I'm having a lot of fun with right now. I really like the fire staff so far. Right now, because it's a closed beta, you can go ahead and respec at any time, which is really cool. Then we have the weapons mastery. As you can see with sword and shield, I'm at basically level 11 out of 20, and I was going for some defender stuff right down here, which basically allowed me to rush forward, do like a knockback on them and get an extra hit in, kind of daze my opponent a little bit. It gave me some stamina, damage reduction, some actual percentage to my physical armor, and success hit enemies within 5 yards gain weakness. Really cool stuff like that that helps you mitigate damage and helps you survive longer in a battle as a tank, so to speak. Other than that, I did try out the Warhammer just a little teeny bit. I thought it was a lot of fun, but it's a little bit slow and clunky for my taste. I did have a lot of fun with the musket for a couple of hours. I think the musket is really cool because, and I also think it's far superior to any of the other ranged weapons, because when you hit the button to shoot the musket, it's basically instant damage. It's instant damage, whereas the bow, you actually see the arrow flying through the air to hit the target. With the staffs, like the fire staff and the healing staff, you actually see the healing bullet or the fireball floating through the air to hit the target, whereas the musket is instantaneous, which immediately makes it the top tier ranged weapon no matter what. Even the ice gauntlet, you see something flying through the air to get to the target, so it's not instantaneous like the musket. So in my opinion, the musket is the best ranged DPS weapon so far. I did spend quite a few hours with the life staff only. I really like the life staff. I think it's really cool, but as of right now with my low level in life staff, I don't enjoy the healing at all, which is really weird for me because I almost always play a healing class in every game that I play, so having the life staff not be very good, I don't want to say it's not good at healing because the healing is pretty good, but it's just a very different form of user interface than I'm used to, so I'm going to have to get used to it a little bit more before I say that I like the healing in New World. I'm not really down with the healing just yet. And coming from a long-time healer, that's one of the cons that I have of the game right now. As far as the fire staff goes, I think that some of the abilities that it has is really unique. Obviously, there's a lot of AoE stuff involved, but there's also some really cool aspects to the fire staff that I'm having a lot of fun with so far. So the trade skills are, I really like it so far. I think that the crafting in New World is one of the pros that I see to the game, and also a con at the same time. I think that the crafting in New World is too easy and too easy to level up. I went from, I'll tell you what I did. I went out for like 1 hour. I killed nothing but boars, wolves, and bobcats for like an entire hour and skinned them until I had like 1,000 pelt. I put them all in the bank because you can literally craft with the materials that are in your bank vault, so to speak. And once I had about 1,000 of those pelts, I basically just went to the tannery. I clicked on it. I went to coarse leather. I took the slider ball all the way to the right. I hit craft. And I literally went from like level 0 or level 1 all the way to like level 50 in one craft. And I thought that was just a little bit over the top, so to speak. I thought it was a little bit too easy to level up. And let's go back. Where was I? I've done just a tiny bit of weaponsmith. Nothing much to talk about there. Again, I think that all of the crafting is way too easy to level up in my personal opinion. I did some armoring. I made myself a set of heavy armor. I probably made actually 2 sets of heavy armor, And in the making those 2 sets of heavy armor, I leveled all the way up to level 33 right here. So I thought that was a little bit outlandish that it was that easy to level. I probably crafted 1 or 2 staffs and a couple of the little things, and I leveled up to level 11 in engineering. I didn't do any jewel crafting, any arcana yet. I've spent maybe 5 minutes crafting food in my entire 50 hours of playing New World, and I've gotten to level 36 in cooking because I just have so much meat and nuts and berries and other various things laying around from gathering things out in the wild. I haven't done anything with the furnishing yet, but I am anxious to do that. I've done a bunch of smelting. As you can tell, I've gotten to level 58 on smelting already. Woodworking, 31. Leatherworking, like I said, I turned in like 1,000 pelts at once and went from like 0 to level 50 in one click of a button. Weaving, I've gotten to 43, and stone cutting, I just got from gathering some stones out in the wild and turning them in. Logging, I'm not super high on yet, even though I do enjoy the logging in New World. I think it's really cool how the trees fall over and they don't kill you like they do in Valheim, unfortunately, but it is still very good. I like it so far. The mining is pretty cool. You get a bunch of ore from hitting up one big node, and there's different sizes of nodes in New World. So there's small trees, medium trees, large trees. There's little mining nodes, medium mining nodes, large mining nodes, and so on and so forth through all the gathering. Obviously, the small nodes give you a little bit less. The medium nodes give you a little bit more, and the biggest nodes give you the most amount of materials, just like the animals do, so to speak. So like a big boar would give you a lot more pelts, so to speak, and some more meat than the little boars would. The fishing is excellent. I have to say, the fishing in New World is one of my favorite things about the game. I think it's super fun, it's super relaxing, and I think it's hilarious when you pull a gigantic fish out of the water and you hold it up with one arm and you say, hey, look what I got. And I find it really, really enjoyable. It's one of my favorite things about New World so far, even though I'm only level 9 in it. I super look forward to doing a lot more fishing in New World. Harvesting is a lot of fun. At first I had a hard time finding some of the nodes I needed, but as I explored out a little bit further and learned where certain things were, I found out that it was a lot more easier, and I just needed to explore the world a little bit more to get a few more locations of where certain things were I needed to get in harvesting. Tracking and skinning, like I said, this is really cool because in New World, as your level gets higher, like in harvesting, I got to 57, and I think when I hit level 50 in harvesting, I got tracking for the different harvesting nodes that were on the mini-map, so to speak. They'll show up on there for me. And the same thing goes with the animals as well, the tracking and skinning. So now I can kind of track animals where they are around the world, and it makes it a little bit easier for me to find those particular animals so I can go take them out and get their pelts a lot easier. So there are quite a few of achievements in New World. As you can see here, I have the number 88 over here hovering above my achievements. And the achievement category in New World, like you can see here on my screen, the achievements kind of go in and out because I'm not sure why. I think it has something to do with it's not fully developed yet. But sometimes I can see the achievements that I have and sometimes I can't. So I know that they're working on that. But I do appreciate the achievement system. I think I actually have a few different titles that I can choose from right now to change it. But unfortunately, it's out of commission right now, so I can't actually show that to you. The store in New World, I haven't checked it out at all, but we're going to get a little bit into that a little bit later. The settings, I haven't messed with the settings at all. As a matter of fact, I know that a lot of people and other streamers that I've seen, other YouTube content creators that I've seen, have had a lot of trouble with lag issues and a lot of trouble with being able to trade with other players. I have not personally had that problem. I got onto a server where there wasn't like Asmongold or a lot of the big streamers hanging out on the server trying to do a lot of the Zerg content where there's just a bunch of them moving around at the same time. So I haven't really experienced any of the horrible lag going on that some of the other streamers have, but I don't know why. I don't know if it's because there's hundreds or thousands more players trying to stuff themselves onto that server, or I just got lucky and I found a server that was running really good. I don't have the answer to that, but I have seen a lot of the other players, content creators, like I said, have a lot of lag issues, but thank goodness I haven't had that issue yet. Alright, so let's go check out. So this is one of the faction merchants right here. She's part of the Covenant, so that's one of the factions that you can choose from. Another thing that does bug me about the game is that people are allowed to set off spells and abilities in town and kind of shoot at you and stuff while you're running through town. And it gets to the point where it's really, really annoying and obnoxious because they'll literally just follow you around town shooting at you over and over and over. And it's just like, come on, man, just fucking give it up already. I would really appreciate it personally if they would make it so you can't shoot weapons in town or set off abilities in town at all. Because a lot of people take advantage of this just to annoy other players. So I'm really hoping that they do something about that. So each town has its own little inn. You can talk to the guy, you can register with them and make that inn your basically your recall. So you can go back to town whenever you want to. One of the things that I really appreciate about the storage shed here, which is basically your bank, is that it's based on weight level, and each town has its own weight level, which can be good and bad depending on how much they decide to monetize the cash shop, which I can already see that coming in the future, where they're trying to sell us quality of life bullshit on the cash shop. I can already see it coming now, where the storage shed is actually 1,000 weight in beta, but when the game goes live, it might stay at 1,000. I can already see it going down, and then they try to sell us quality of life bullshit to raise your weight value of the storage shed in the game. But as you can see here, I have a couple of different weapons I'm working with, a set of armor for heavy armor and tanking with a sword and shield. I have a bunch of different stuff for cooking, fishing, crafting modifications, alchemy and arcana, stone cutting, woodworking, weaving, leatherworking. Everything has its own slots in the bank itself, and that's one thing that I rarely see in any other MMORPG, and something that I really appreciate about it is that everything is separated for you in the user interface. Great job, Amazon. I got to give you props on that one. It's really impressive. I really like it. And they even give you a take all button, and inside your inventory itself here, you can see these little arrows right here. This lets you take any category and just immediately store it all into your storage shed, or remove it all into your inventory by category in one easy click. And I think that is so refreshing. Great, great, great idea, guys. So impressed with that. So it shows you right here at the top my weight ratio here. I've got 800 out of 1,000, so I still have 200 left that I can store in there. It shows me some different areas and what's in those different areas and who controls them at the time. Currently, this is the only town I have anything stored in. I think in one other town I have a couple of rations, and that's about it. All right, moving on. I'll go up here to my faction merchant. Is something I want to show you guys. But before I do that, this is kind of like your fast travel of the map area. If you click on this, you have certain areas around the map that you've discovered, like this one right here. Arcanar's Gate, Hermit's Shrine, and Dreadsize Shrine. I can literally click on any one of these and fast travel to that area anytime I want to. And it's really, really cool, because if I had to run from here, Monarch's Bluff, down to this quest down here, it doesn't look like it's that far, right? It doesn't look like it should take me that long to get to this area right here to right down here. But if I was to start running right now, it would take me about 10 or 15 minutes to take the roads all the way down there to that area. So it is pretty significant to be able to fast travel. So right here, this is called the town project board. If you click on it, you can see just a bunch of different quests right here, and you can see that right here it says that they're all in progress except for this one right here. These are really simple, easy things that you can do to raise your project points, the coins, your territory standing, and get a good chunk of experience for your character. I really like these because half the time I complete these and I wasn't even really going out of my way to go and complete these, but because I was in the right area at the right time, like say this one right here, sooner or later I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna have to go over to this area. I'm probably gonna kill 3 grizzly bears, and then lo and behold, I'll be back in town. I'll just turn it in. So that's really cool. So right up here is my faction merchant, Roger Purcell. Great name, guy. That's all I got to say about that, is great name. But if I open the faction board here, you're going to see quite a few different things. It's going to tell you your location. Monarch's Bluffs is where I am right now. It's going to show you the territory influence. And green means that it's mainly under control of the Marauders. Purple is the Syndicate, and yellow is the Covenant. So far, the Covenant are the definite underdogs of what's going on. From what I've seen on this particular server, the Covenant are the major underdogs, with the Syndicate and the Marauders pretty close 50-50. And then right here, you can see that I've hit Gladiator. This is my reputation. And this bar right here kind of shows you how far I have to go to hit Ravager, then Destroyer, and then much further down the line, Commander. So as you can see right here, all I have to do is click on these to get progress, to accept the quest, so to speak. And then the ones that I complete, like this one, I have complete right now. When I turned it in, I'm going to get reputation. I'm going to get 440 tokens, some coins, some territory standing, and a bunch of experience. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this. It takes me up to 3,042 tokens. You want to be careful because these tokens can cap themselves. Before I hit Gladiator, I was capped at 3,000 tokens, and I turned in a couple of quests on accident, and I missed out on a couple of tokens because I hit the 3,000 mark. Now that I'm Gladiator, the cap is 10,000, so that's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and accept this one. It's just that easy. All I have to do is click on it. I don't have to listen to a bunch of bullshit quest dialogue, which I really love. All I have to do is freaking click on it and I accept the quest. So I really like that. This buy rewards thing is really awesome. So you start off as a soldier when you start your faction, and you'll notice that this is gear that you can buy with your faction. It's really nice gear. It's as good, if not better, than stuff you can craft at a very low level. So, and one of the main things that makes this better is the socket part that says physical Ward 1. I take 1% less physical damage absorbed, basically, and that's really awesome. You can buy ammo from your faction merchant, so instead of wasting a bunch of resources, one thing that you can do is just come up here. You can buy as many bullets as you want to for only 5 tokens, and trust me, that's nothing. You're gonna have more tokens than you know what to do with after a while. So they sell gear for heavy armor, light, medium armor, and light armor. So if you want to be a tank, you can buy gear here. If you want to be a mage, you can buy here. Or a ranger, you can buy gear here. If you want to be a healer, you can buy gear right here. You can also get mana elixirs. You can buy arrows, shields, seals, everything you need as far as gear. You can buy it at your faction merchant with these tokens that your faction gives you for completing these quests. Once you get to a certain level with your faction merchant, you get to do a couple of quests. Don't skip any of the main storyline quests or anything like that, because you have to do quests to unlock the Gladiator, and I'm sure to unlock Ravager, Destroyer, and Commander. There's going to be quests as well. So don't skip any of the quests. Don't delete any of the quests that you take with the main storyline, so to speak, because you will need to complete them to be able to graduate on up the faction that you've chosen. So when you get to Gladiator, obviously all the gear gets better and better and better. Right now I have almost all of the Gladiator gear that I need. I need a few more pieces to complete it, and then I'll be higher level. Hopefully I'll get to 25 or 35 to unlock Ravager. I don't know if that's going to happen for me in the closed beta. I don't think I'm going to have time, just because I got a lot of real life stuff that I need to take care of right now to, you know, support my family. So this will have to be stuck on the back burner for a little bit. So I'm not sure that I'm actually going to make it to Ravager, but I will show you down here at the bottom. I'm really looking forward to some of this gear. Some of it looks really cool. So, some of these are epic items, and I'm sure that the aesthetic of them is just going to be fantastic, because so far from what I've seen in the game, I really love the aesthetic of the gear and the stuff that you get to wear. And I haven't even looked at the cash shop. This is just stuff that's already been given to you through the faction, which I really appreciate. I really like the look of it. It reminds me of the olden times. I get like a Last of the Mohicans type feel of it, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, really like the tokens, really like the rewards program with the faction. It's so many of the MMORPGs I've played in the past and in my life. I just felt like doing PvP and doing so many of the faction type warfare stuff was such a drag and such a huge time commitment to get the full set of gear that it just made it such a drag. But in New World so far, I spend like one day grinding, 1 or 2 days for a few hours each day, grinding the reputation with the faction merchant, and I had a full set, and I was really happy about it. It gave me a huge power spike, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Really having fun exploring the map in New World, and I really love the aesthetic of it. It's super beautiful, and really looking forward to getting higher level and traveling in New World and getting to see a bunch of stuff. So if I hit the tab button, it's like hitting I. It brings up your inventory and what you're currently wearing on your character. So this is the gear that I currently have equipped. It's all stuff that I crafted myself, except for the shield, because I wanted to try out the fire staff, and in order to make the fire staff any good, I wanted to train in respec intelligence, and I wanted most of my gear to have constitution and intelligence, or constitution and focus, so I could switch between the fire staff and the life staff. Now you guys don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want, but that's just the way I chose to do it. One of the things about the interface and the inventory that I really like is the ability to just take your food here and put it in these slots, and then you know, I have buttons on the side of my mouse right here. I have 12 buttons on the side of it, and it makes it really easy for me to hit a potion, eat my food. And the cool thing about New World is you don't have to sit down to eat. So while you're in the middle of the battle, if you want to chug a potion, you want to eat some food, you want to eat some food to get yourself some health or some mana, you can do that right in the middle of battle. So that's really cool. That's something I really like. Then we have your crafting, you know, your gathering tools. So I got a harvesting sickle, my skinning knife, my mining pick, my fishing pole, my axe, and I need to get an Azaf staff to help me clear those rifts I was telling you about. I really like how easy it is to have all of those equipped at the same time. In other games, it's really annoying to me how you can only have one harvesting tool equipped at any given time, or the harvesting tools take up bag space in one of your bags, which New World doesn't have. It's all based on weight, which is, believe me, trust me on this one, weight is far superior to bags. And any MMORPG that is still using bag slots is about a decade and a half behind what they should be. Now, that being said, weight can also be a downside because of the cash shop monetization that a lot of MMORPGs are now putting into their games, which sucks so bad. I'm so fucking tired of quality of life upgrades. It just makes me not want to play their game, because it's like they deliberately develop a game with these inherent drawbacks so that they can then turn you around and sell you the solution on the cash shop, which makes me want to just drive to Amazon or wherever and slap some people in the face. So hopefully they don't do that in this game, and they don't start taking advantage of the players in the cash shop with the monetization. Otherwise, I guarantee you that it's just a start of a countdown to when is the game gonna fail. And if you need any further proof on how not to piss players off, go ahead and check out Activision Blizzard's stock price this week that has nosedived $8 in the past 8 days. Turning on PvP and turning off PvP is as simple as just hitting the U button. There, I just turned it on. There, I just turned it off. If you don't want a PvP, you do not have to PvP. It is totally optional in New World, but the good thing about it is that if you do decide to PvP, you don't lose anything. If you die, you're not going to lose your gear. You don't have to worry about any of the downsides of the really hardcore PvP games like Glory of Victus or some of the other medieval games where if you die, people can loot stuff out of your inventory or some of the gear off of your body. You don't have to worry about that stuff. So just have fun PvPing, and if that's not your cup of tea, then don't worry about it, because I've found hours and hours of fun in New World so far, and I've done almost no PvP at all. So not something to worry about right there. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see my level bar. I'm level 21 so far, and there is rested experience, I think, so far that I've seen so far. It seems like there's rested experience. There's a slight color change there at the end of my experience bar from yellow to white, and I think the white is the rested experience. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's it. One of the beautiful, beautiful things about New World that I really like so far is the built-in compass at the top of the screen that shows you south to west to north to east, and it shows you which direction you have to go to get to your quest. If you hit the M button and you open up your map, you can zoom in. Now say I want to come over here, I want to do this quest. I can go to Antares right here. I can just do a simple right click, which then puts a little icon on the map. If I hit escape, you can see right there at my compass at the top of the screen where I put that little mark, it tells me exactly what direction I have to go in to get to that quest. Aces. Aces, Amazon. Thank you very, very much. Beautiful design on that one. There's little things around the world like this little honey beehive right here. You can interact with it. You can pick up some honey. Crafting stations I really like. So this is the kitchen right here. This is where you go, you craft all your food. Right here on the left side, you're going to see all the things that you can craft with so far in the beta as far as food goes. And up here at the top, this is absolutely beautiful. If you have a quest that is needed to where you have to use your crafting station, in this case it's the cooking station, if you have a quest for it, you go to the top right here, it says recipes from quests. This tells you I need to craft herbal game rations and flavored fish rations, and it tells you exactly what I need to be able to craft these and to go turn them in. So if I forget that I have a quest that includes this crafting station, it tells me right here, if this is white for whatever reason, I could just go ahead and craft it and then go turn it in. It's like free experience. Instead of having to go look in my quest journal, write down all the shit I'm gonna need, it literally tells me right there and there if I can craft it or not. Beautiful design. Absolutely beautiful. And they have a thing where you can spend Azoth to improve a item. So if you want to add Azoth to something, you can click on how much you want to put into it, hit accept, and it goes from having low or no perk to a very high chance at a perk, which means when you hit the craft button, it will craft a much better version than it would normally. Same thing with everything. All of the crafting stations are like that, and show you what it's like to roast a wolf. So this particular skill will just continue to drain my mana until I turn it off. And then I can go ahead and skin this bad boy wolf. And it was going to give me 15 hides and give me some more tracking and skinning. Everything like that in New World is like that. I want one more thing. I'm going to kill one more wolf to just show you this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and switch to my life staff. And then I'm going to switch to my fire staff and kill this wolf. Now right here you're going to notice it gave me 4 life magic and 4 fire magic mastery with both each staff. And then if I kill this wolf with just the fire staff, it gives me 9 fire magic mastery. So when I switched between the weapons, it cut the mastery in half, giving me some life mastery and some fire mastery. Whereas if I just use the one weapon, it gives me the full mastery towards that one weapon. And it's like that with everything. So if I wanted to level up a sword and an ice gauntlet, I could shoot it once with the ice gauntlet, switch to my sword, finish it off with the sword. It's going to cut the mastery directly in half and give half of it to the ice gauntlet. Even though I might have absolutely 0 skill with the ice gauntlet, it's still going to give me half towards the ice gauntlet, which is a really cool way of leveling up a separate weapon. All you have to do is hit it once and then switch, finish it off with the weapon that you're really proficient in, and then it's an easy way of leveling up your mastery with a weapon you have no master in. Yikes, what a mouthful. Alright guys, so let's go over some one more minute of some pros and cons that I noticed about New World. Number 1, there isn't enough stuff in the game to make you interact with other players. Even though New World is more challenging as far as combat goes than a lot of the other MMORPGs out there, you can actually get killed in New World if you bite off more than you can chew. And sometimes people run by you with a train of bad guys and they can aggro onto you, and so that's something you got to look out for. But there just isn't enough so far for me in the game of playing 21 levels solo basically. There isn't enough in the game to make people want to interact enough and group and get... I think that will change if you're going to do PvP, but as far as the PvE aspect of it all goes, I do want to kind of get together with some other players more to do some dungeon content and whatnot, but so far I haven't felt the need to interact with the community at all, except for answering a few questions in the chat box that other people had that I knew the answer to. The other downside that I see with New World so far is the integration of things I can see that were developed where I almost guarantee that certain things are going to be on the cash shop that I don't want to see on the cash shop. And some of the things as far as the inventory stuff on your character, the inventory stuff on the bank in the town, and the fast travel stuff. I can see it happening already in my mind, where I'm going to log in one day and there's going to be cash shop items reducing the cost of fast travel and giving you more inventory space and stuff like that. And I'm not about it. I'm not about it. I don't like it at all. I'd rather just pay a $15 a month subscription fee and have all of that stuff unlimited and free than to have to do the microtransaction bullshit. I don't like it. It's the start of just all badness. It's just all bad. It's all bad, guys, and I can see it happening, and I'm just sad about it, and it hasn't even happened yet. So hopefully I'm wrong. That's the best case scenario, right, guys? One other thing that I've noticed is that a lot of the quests are kind of repetitive, where you go to a certain area and it says search for chests, basically. But most of them are not chests. They're so maybe just change the wording on the quest. But most of the time you just go to a certain area, you click on some stuff, it gives you an item, which is then you know, giving you a count towards your quest. So it would be go click on 6 different chests to find this item in this certain area. You just go there, you kill bad guys, click on anything you can possibly find in there as far that even looks like a crate, a chest, or anything like that, and it'll give you the item. And a lot of the quests are like that. So maybe just some diversity of changing up the quests a little bit in that respect. Overall, guys, I have to tell you, I think that they have an amazing game here. It's a really good start to a game. Like I said, I haven't had the lag issues that a lot of other people have had, so I can imagine that's frustrating. I haven't actually tried to trade with anybody. I haven't had a need to. But yeah, I really like where it's headed. I like where it's going, and hopefully it just improves over time. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I really appreciate you being here. Check out the links in the description to my Discord. Come join my Discord. You know, I'm still kind of a new channel, but I really appreciate every single person that gets in there and wants to chat. Check out my social media links, and if you want to support the channel for $1.50 a month, check out my Patreon. I'd really personally really appreciate it. And that's about it. Thank you so much. My name is Roger, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care of yourself, everybody.